Good evening everyone, once again I do apologise about that, I did have the wrong title. I didn't have Division 1 on the title, that's what it was. But good evening everyone and welcome to League of Europe. This is Division 1, Season 3, Round 2 here at the Sakhir International Circuit in Bahrain. And I, of course, am James Hay, going to be taking you through the action here tonight. The best commentator in League of Europe is back, and I've been recoupled once again with my Division 1 drivers. And if people are thinking, why did you use the word recoupling? It's because Love Island's on in the UK, and the nation's going completely and utterly mad about it. I will not get into Love Island, even though I am a bit cross with some of the things that happened last night. Anyways, we are here, of course, for the main focus, which is Bahrain. Of course, first Grand Prix held here in 2004, Michael Schumacher taking the win that day. 5.412 kilometre circuit and quite a few difficult turns. We'll come to the track preview in just a second, however, because I have got the standings available for you guys. It was of course Alpha Trix from the back of the field who took the win in Australia for round 1 of the championship, and he leads the way on 26 points. He did take the fastest lap as well. Boualem is in second, the Frenchman, and the Mercedes on 18 points, with Spine in third and the McLaren on 15. Campbell in fourth, Division 2 champion last season, remember. He's on 12 points, with Cantera in fifth on 10. Harrison David is in sixth on 8, with Kvyat Cohen in seventh on 6. Newell Weegee in 8th on 5. I'll come to him in just a second. Bullet Boy is in 9th on 4. Neo is in 10th on 3. Xjari is in 11th on 2. And QVR Verstappen on 1 point. We also had Dakar and Larkin finish, however they didn't get any points. Top 12 get points, remember, in League of Europe, an extended point system to the traditional point system that you guys might be used to in real life Formula 1. Constructor standings, Mercedes leading the way on 26 points, no surprise there. Red Bull in second on 18, with McLaren in third on 15, Alfa Romeo in fourth on 10, Renault Sport in fifth on 7, Ferrari in sixth on 3, and Toro Rosso, soon to be named AlphaTauri, of course, they are on 1 point. Williams, Haas and Racing Point not picking up any points from first race. I'm sure they will right the wrongs though of that this season as we come into round 2 of the championship here in Bahrain. I'll get to the comments in just a second. I would like to start off the stream, however, by paying tribute to a driver that has departed the scene here in Division 1. I think he's tuning in tonight as well. It is, of course, Neo, the German driver, retiring from league racing to focus on his personal life. Totally respect that, and I don't think people really take for granted that league racing does take up a lot of their time, and you always have to take a break at whatever point in your life, and I fully commend that decision by Neo. He has left us for now, but I'm sure he will be back in the future. So if Neo is watching, I'm sure everyone would like to extend their warmest wishes to Neo for the future. I'm sure we will see you back, though, in Division 1, hopefully before the end of the season. That's what I'm expecting. If you want to come back a little bit earlier, then that's fine as well. But we wish Neo well, of course, in his future endeavours, and I'm sure he will be relaxing, quite rightly so. I won't be relaxing though in the commentary box, because you'll have to deal with me for an hour and a half, which is fun for you guys and fun for me because I get to commentate on the action as well. Of course, we are here in Bahrain tonight at the Sakhir International Circuit, as I was alluding to at the start of the stream. 2004, the first Grand Prix held around here. It was actually 2002 when this track first readily came available to the public. Of course, they were building the track from 2002. It opened in late 2003, and then the Bahrain Grand Prix, of course, held in 2004, with Schumacher, of course, taking the win there. 5.412 kilometres in length. Turns 10 and 12 are going to be the main focal points, I fear, out on track here tonight, because downhill, off camber, it is really going to be a tricky into, and also turn 12, if you swing through turn 12 and you catch the curb on the inside, you have got absolutely no chance of saving that car. You will lose front wing, you might even end up out of the race, because that is one of the real big points on the track. Turn 12 and turn 10, they will be the ones to watch out for here tonight. Lap record held by Pedro Della Rosa in 2005 with a 1:31.447. We will beat that inevitably tonight. The times are a lot quicker here on the F1 game compared to real life Formula 1. And just to reflect on last season as well, Luigi did take pole position with a 1:27 flat in the Ferrari last season. That was on a set of soft compound tyres. Now everyone else within the top 10 went on a set of mediums. They were around a tenth, maybe 2/10 off him. It will be interesting to see who has got the pace and if anybody does decide to go on the softs here tonight. I think personally I would go mediums for the rest start. Try and get a one stop out the way, pitting around lap 10, lap 11, 17 laps on a set of hard compound tyres, which will come into play in the second half of the race as the temperature will begin to drop. Of course, we're not going to have any rain or anything here in Bahrain. You never know, we might. If that's the case, then I will owe every one of my viewers a £5. But there you go. I don't think we'll be getting rain though here tonight. And of course in the race last time out as well in Division 2, this was round 3 of the championship last season. Rafa took the win, the ill-fated Rafa who of course left us last season. He took the win. Harrison David in second, Montana in third. Now that is an interesting perspective for us here tonight because Harrison finished about 5 seconds ahead of Montana in the end. I don't think it was Montana's race back then in Bahrain. Really struggled, I think. He had contact with another driver, if I remember rightly. And Harrison ended up in front of him by about 5 seconds out on track because it was about 7 seconds separating the top 3. But Harrison and Montana, really going to be two guys to watch out for here tonight. Of course, we have got new fresh blood as well. We'll take you through the drivers that are here. 18 drivers in total here tonight for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So we've got ex-Jarry, Bullet Boy, who was filling in the Racing Point, Larkin, New Luigi, last year's pole sitter, Toxic, Montana, last year's champion, Spine, also in the McLaren, good to see them both back. Montana, of course, not here last week. Doom, Lion, Cantera, Verstappen, Dakar, Campbell, Coens. We've got 4 KVR drivers in the Red Bull and Toro Rosso respectively. We've got Alphatrix filling in the Ferrari, Boulem and Harrison David in the Mercedes, and Mercurial Caesar filling in also in that Racing Point. The Indian driver, of course, joined us here in Division 1 this season, and it was actually nice to race him as well on GT Sport on Wednesday. I made my debut in League of Europe GT Sport, came a respectful 6th. I did make a mistake about 5 minutes into the race, which I'm very, very sorry for. Luckily it wasn't streamed so nobody saw it. But yeah, GT Sport, much different to Formula 1, I've got to say. I've got my driving shoes on a Wednesday night now in League of Europe GT Sport. I won't be there this week and I won't be there next week either because I'll be commentating on the TTG Mini League, which will be inevitably upon us in a couple of days' time. I'll be on the 22nd of January, which is Wednesday upcoming. But enough about that. We are about to get started here for League of Europe Division 1. I'm going to have my first check of the comment section, see how you guys are doing here tonight for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Looking at everyone in the comments section, hoping for a good result tonight. Practicing my pace seemed decent. That was from Bullet Boy. The hype is real. The hype is definitely real. Sadly not about Love Island, but certainly we'll get over that here tonight in Division 1. Hello to Jekyll. Hello to everyone that's really commenting in the comment section here tonight. Of course, if you do show support to the drivers, if you want to show support to me as well, do that in the comment section, and please keep it clean because we have to keep the professionality around here in League of Europe. Alpha is a full-time driver now, by the way. Yeah, I think I got told that earlier on in the week and I've totally forgot about it, so thank you for reminding me there. There is a driver just joining in. He's a German, which leads me to believe it's VRT Schiaparelli. Might be wrong. He's gone in the Haas, so I'm imagining it will be. The name hasn't came up yet, so I'm just taking a wild stab in the dark with that. But we are about to get going for qualifying here in Bahrain. 18 minutes worth of qualifying, 50% race, 28 laps in total for the drivers to delve into here tonight. Do show your support though for the drivers, do show your support for us. 21 viewers on the stream so far, thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning in, and I'll try and make sure that the commentary is as good. I have finally got over the flu as well, so I can go pretty much full pelt into this commentary tonight. So, we are here in Bahrain. Of course, remember, Luigi took pole position last season around here with a 1:27.041. I have a feeling we'll break into the 26s tonight. If people decide early on to go on to a set of soft compound of tyre, we should see the 26s break here tonight. I think pole position, I'm not going to say who's going to be on pole. I will say, and I'll predict the time, I'll say it's going to be a 26.6 or 26.7. The qualifying time here tonight in Division 1, and I've just been wisely informed that is our new driver Alonso that has joined in, and we do welcome Alonso to Division 1. That name will appear on my screen soon, so don't worry about that. Me taking a stab into the dark with VRT Chaplain, he wasn't too far off. But there we go. 19 drivers out on the grid. We are about to get going here in qualifying for Division 1 here in Bahrain. Round 2 of the championship is about to really get underway. Who is going to be the first driver out on track? I've got my finger peeled on Montana here. I'm expecting him to be one of the first out, and Montana is not one of the first out. It is actually a Haas that is coming out first, and it is our new driver Alonso, and he's heading out on a set of hard compound of tyres. I'm not surprised by the difference in strategy on the tyre graphic at the minute. Obviously, people deciding to go hards or mediums, I would think, first half of qualifying. Look at the beautiful floodlights. It's even better now that I'm streaming in HDR, so you guys will get to see the full force of the streaming capabilities. We've got Toxic, Cohen, Bullet Boy all out on track early. So, Alonso, the German, is out on track. I don't know much about him, if I've got to be honest. I should have asked when he joined the chat on Thursday in Discord, but we've got Alonso here, and he's coming through the middle sector now, and I'll speak about turn 10 when he comes up to it, because you really don't get a feeling on this camera angle the dip that actually goes down into turn 10. This is turn 9 coming down into turn 10. It's off camber of the corner. The drivers will really have to get the traction through there and get the grip, and you can see Alonso just warming up the tyres, using the full use of the track limits there to actually make sure that those tyres are warmed up. You do want to have warm tyres on this lap. You don't want to be going full round and not warming up your tyres, because it can be a bit of a disaster. There's turn 12 as well, just coming through turn 12. If that back end steps out on the curb, you will really lose the back end, and if there's any drivers from Division 2 or Division 4 later on that are tuning into the stream, do listen to what I'm saying about turns 10 and 12, because they are going to be big focal points, I think, tonight in all leagues here in League of Europe. Alonso about to get going on for lap. Let's ride on board with him for the first lap here in Bahrain. Beautiful, bright floodlights being brightened up the track, I should say. Down into turn 1, a little bit of a dip through. Mercurial Caesar has retired from the session. That's through sector 1. That is just ahead, actually, and that is through turn 3. So Caesar has actually lost control of the car on his outlap, I think. That's a bit of a strange one. He's trying to communicate through the session there as well. Alonso just stepping out a little bit wide through turn 4. Now through turns 5 and 6, 28.1 through the first sector for Alonso, as he now approaches turn 8, which is this right-handed corner before turn 9 and 10. The very difficult off-camber corners here in Bahrain. Got other people on the lap as well, but Alonso really nice through turn 10. That's how you want to take it, maybe with a little bit more vigour and zest through there, if I've got to be honest. But Alonso now down the straight towards turn 11, down, braking just off the 100 metre board. You can afford to brake at around the 100, just after the 100 metre board there, and really try and turn the car into the inside of the apex. Through turn 12 now, and it's a 106.2 through the middle sector for Alonso, the German, doing a good job out on track. Just stepping again a little bit wide, a little bit of snap of oversteer there, coming onto the curb through turn 13. Now through 14 and 15, the final two corners here out on track. And Alonso flying at the final corner. This looks like it's going to be a 28, I think, to begin off with for Alonso. He's about to reach the line now, and it's a 28.1. A very respectful lap there from him. Let's ride on board then with Montana, who is at the end of the middle sector. He's using the toe of the Williams ahead, which I'm imagining will be NSX Lion, I think. Alpha Truck Skull's provisional pole currently with a 27.7, so we're already reaching big point here in qualifying. Montana about to come across the line, and it's 28 flat, and he goes second, the defending champion. Boulem also on a lap in Australia last week, of course, coming into tonight on 18 points. And of course, Mercedes leading the constructors as well. Boulem just preparing up for a lap. This one is a banker, I think. It's a 34.4. Toxic as well, sitting in the bank there with a 49 flat. Everyone, though, seeming to go on to a set of hard compound of tyres. Larkin just coming across the line on an invalidated lap. Right on board then with Bullet Boy, who's coming through the middle sector. And he's about to come through turns 8. Oh, he's just through turn 8 there. He's about to come through turns 9 and 10 now. Really difficult camber on the corner here for Bullet Boy to get rid of, and he managed that very nicely indeed on the DRS. Now running down the straight once again towards turn 11. This flat left-hander, once you get the power into the car, you do brake after the 100-metre board there, remember. Bullet Boy now coming through the final couple of corners and through the end of the middle sector. Just to point out, Verstappen has gone second with a 27.9 and Alonso was fourth with a 28.1. So setting up really nice with the timings so far. We should see a lot of improvements, I think, later on in the session. Red Bull just getting out the way there, which I think might have been either Campbell or Cohen, I think that was. Bullet Boy now through the final corner, about to come across the line now, and Bullet Boy goes sixth. It was Cohen that he went past. Campbell just coming into the pits as well. Let's run on board then with Cantera just coming across the line, and invalidated 28.3. He is on a set of soft compound of tyre, which is quite interesting. The Spaniard here, the only one that I've noticed on a set of soft compound of tyres. Xjavi there on a set of softs. He's just coming towards the final corner now. 30.2 his current best. Boulem has just gone second with a 27.8. Next Xjavi into the pits. Clean, not happy with that lap at all. Harrison David on a lap. Looks like he might have invalidated somewhere out on track. That S section, if you do pick up an invalidation there, you can get this and next lap invalidated. So trust me, it is going to be quite difficult for the drivers out on track, and I'm sure it will be if you are a Division 2 or Division 3, a Division 4 driver I should say later on. It will be quite tricky for you guys as well, I'm pretty sure of that. Of course, you will have your own commentators and own streams for that. Thank you everyone for tuning in so far. It is Alphatrix currently at the top of the leaderboards here in qualifying, from Boulem in second, Verstappen third, Montana fourth, and Toxic filling out the top 5 with Alonso and Line respectively only a 10th, and Alonso actually just comes across the line there. We totally missed his lap, do apologise about that, but he's 6,000 ahead of Alphatrix, and the Haas goes into P1. So the Haas, of course, no points scored last week, of course, in Australia. Alonso will be looking to right the wrongs from last week in Australia, and Alonso goes to the top German. 1:27.783, and in terms of the timings from last season, a 27 flat, remember, from Waluigi was last season's qualifying time, and we are already 7/10 off that pace at the minute. There's not really many people we can go on board with at the minute. Larkin just coming across the line, maybe to start up another lap, so we're right on board with this. I think Boulem is also out on a lap. He's just coming into the pits, in fact. We'll go on board with Campbell and Cohen just now as well. But Larkin coming through turn 3, now on the run slightly uphill towards turn 4, then flying through the S5 and 6, and towards the end of the first sector we come with Larkin. The Brits obviously wanting to get those tyres as warm as possible. He's 600 up through the first sector there. Through 6 and 7 he comes now, and then into turn 8 here for Larkin. Looking very nice indeed through there. Of course, 15 corners around the track. We are about halfway through the lap here with Larkin. We are dead on halfway through the lap actually with Larkin. Coming through turn 10, and again, that's what I see with the camber of the corner. Just drifting out off the camber there was Larkin. Just missed the apex. Didn't get the best run out he could have possibly done out of that corner. And Larkin just struggling maybe through this middle sector. We'll see how the timing points out within the middle sector. It's a 106.4. He's 900 up, so he's actually found time by about 300th of a second there. Not enough, I think, to move him up past Bullet Boy or Spine. However, I stand to be corrected, of course, on that. And the Ferrari driver now through the final 2 corners at 14, and then the kink at 15. That is a corner on the official track map, trust me. Larkin about to come across the line, and his final sector looks quite good, and he goes ahead of Bullet Boy actually. Found another 300th of a second respectively, and he goes 9th About halfway through in qualifying, Alonso, Alphatrix and Boulem currently are top three, with Verstappen in 4th, Montana 5th and Alphatrix in 6th. So Alonso obviously going to the top of the standings. We'll go on board then with Campbell, who's just coming through turn 11. Sorry, this is turn 11, now coming through turn 12. Campbell now, the Division 2 champion from last season, a 10th up through the middle sector. Really attacking, a really nice camera shot there as well. We'll go on board with him for the final 2 corners. Cohen is on an outlap, he did pit in again, I think. Campbell now coming around the final 2 corners now, through into turn 14, then through the kink at 15. About to come across the line now. This could be a quite competitive time, to be honest, from Campbell. Comes across the line to 28.5. He improves his time, but doesn't improve his position. Ex-Jarry is on a lap. He's on a set of hard compound of tyres. The Renault driver at the minute. The Dutchman on a 30.2 on a set of soft compound of tyres. He will improve on this set of hard compound of tyres. I think, honestly, you want to be setting on a hard set or a medium set of tyres in this qualifying session to really try and get the tyre wear out of the tyres within the race. It is about 4-5% drop each lap on a set of softs, while if you're on a set of the mediums, it's about 3-4%, and if you're on a set of hards, it's about 3% roughly for a set of hards to drop off per lap around here. Alonso has left the session. The current provisional pole sitter has left the session. Hopefully we can get an invite out to him. Ex-Jarry in the meantime, he's going to be about a second up on this lap. Comes across the line now. Yeah, 1.3 seconds up, and Alphatrix just in behind, getting the tow. Just in behind Ex-Jarry, you can see the Ferrari in the background of shot. He has gone into provisional pole with a 27.5, and that is an improvement of just over 0.2 of a second. We'll run on board though with Daka, who steps out the back end through turn 12. Not at the point, turn 13 that was, in fact, on the run down the hill now towards turn 14 and 15. Remember, 3 DRS zones around this track now. 1 down the start-finish straight, 1 up the hill towards turn 4, and then 1 also down the back straight between turns 10 and 11. Bullet Boy has gone to the top of the timing screens, and again getting a bit of a tilt there from Daka in the background. 27.5 from the Brit. He goes to the top of the timing screens. However, I feel he won't be there for long, because his driver's probably going to be improving around him out on track. Dume and Harrison David both into the pits. Let's try and pick up on board with somebody that is on a lap. I'm not sure if Spine is on a lap, but we'll ride on board with him for now. Of course, Spine really impressing last week in Australia, finishing 3rd in the McLaren. Back at it again, of course, in the McLaren, full-time driver within that. He's got his teammate, his trusty teammate Montana, the defending champion of Division 1, alongside him this season. Really a force to be reckoned with, but there's quite a few teams in Division 1 this season that will really set the standard for seasons to come, and I think for the racing to come. Spine not on a lap here, but he is 2.4 seconds down, and he will be coming into the pit at the end of this lap. Let's ride on board then with... who do we ride on board with? Because there's absolutely nobody on a lap. I don't know. Let's have a check of the comments section, and I'll put Ex-Jarry on the background. I'll have a check of the comments section, see how you guys are doing within the comment section here tonight. I'm getting a lot of emails through, so I'll just check them in the meantime as well. Hopefully you guys, of course, doing well here tonight. And if you are wanting to tune in for Division 3, that is also live tonight. 11 people tuning in for that, 15 watching us, which is absolutely fantastic. Robin's saying, why is everybody on softs? Never mind, it seems a glitch. Yeah, the tyre graphics normally do appear to be wrong at the start of qualifying. That is a terrible glitch, I think, as part of Codemasters. They still haven't fixed it, and this game has been out over 6 months now. Come on, get a grip and get it fixed. Jawad coming in and saying, go Boulem. Yeah, Boulem doing good so far, of course, with his confidence-boosting performance from Australia last week, finishing 2nd, of course, remember, back in Australia. And the Mercedes team currently top of the standings with Harrison David's 8 points as well. Looking at how they're doing at the minute, Boulem is in 4th in qualifying, Harrison David in 17th, yet to set a lap. Once he sets a lap, it will be quite important to see. Ex-Jarry is about to come into the pits though in the meantime. We'll ride on board though with NSX Lion, who's on a set of medium compound of tyres. A very quick driver on his day, the Dutchman. He's about to come around the turn 12 now, and he's 5/10 up in the middle sector. I would honestly not be surprised if he finds another 2-3 tenths out of this final sector at the final couple of corners, and he'll get provisional pole just by the scruff of a hair. Line now coming through the final 2 corners. The Dutchman in the Williams. Can he go better than Bullet Boy? He's not. He's going to come into the pits. Must have realised I was on board with him. Absolutely typical. Alonso is coming back into the session as well. That's why his name has disappeared on the left hand side of your screen. So with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in qualifying, it is a bit of a mixed picture, I think, for qualifying. Bullet Boy out on top on a set of mediums, a 1:27.5. Guys behind him will improve if they come out on a set of mediums. If anybody decides to go set of softs and decides to go for the full whack and go for pole, then obviously they're going to be on pole position. But looking at everyone out on track, Verstappen has just started up a lap. There's a bit of carnage going on in the background, if I'll take it lightly. Dakar and 2 Ferraris coming out of the pits there, just in behind. That's Larkin and Alpha Tricks. However, Verstappen has got a relatively clear track. He looks like he's got, I think it's Campbell or Cohen ahead of him, one of the 2 Red Bulls. 27.9 through the first sector. Not really using the full RPM there on the car. Verstappen now coming down towards turn 8. Very nicely there, catching the apex nicely, not running out too far on the left hand side of the track. Now coming through turn 9 and turn 10. Verstappen halfway through the lap now, opens up the DRS, looking on schedule here for a good improvement. Maybe around 3rd, I'm thinking this will be in theory. Verstappen now through turn turn 10. Now coming through turn 11, now through turn 12. I'm getting confused with my turns here. 105.6, he's 5/10 up, so currently he's theoretical pole position. I don't want to inform him that. I hope he's not listening in. He might be theoretical pole position by the end of this. This is looking like a very clean and confident lap from the Dutchman. Now through the final corners, through 14 and 15, and Verstappen now about to come across the line. He's going to be ahead of Bullet Boy. Where's he going to go though? To 27.2. Very nice lap there, and the drivers have got to respond to that. Cohen, just ahead of him, has gone 6th as well with a 1:27.8, and good to see that Alonso has got out on track, and he's now back in the session, which is good to see. Got Cantera on a lap on a set of mediums. We'll run and bother with Campbell, who is improving by 6/10 through the middle sector. Now through the line, it's an invalidated 28.5. I think he knew that by the ERS running at 0. Should have really came into the pits. He could have got maybe another lap, but 1 minute and 30 seconds is definitely not going to be enough. So that is even that is the worst scenario I could probably imagine. Has just warming up the tyres there. That is Alonso, I do believe. Toxic has gone 2nd. The Brit, promising from Division 2 last season, of course, 27.3. Cantera, I think, has noticed that I'm on board with him, and he's now off on the outskirts of the track. We're right on board though with Dakar, the Scotsman, who is now coming through turn 10, now coming through turn 11 and 12. Looking very nice on the timing here, Dakar. Juma's gone quickest with a 26.9. So there we go, we're into the 26s with a medium set of tyres. I wouldn't have expected that at all. I think we would have got there with a set of softs. We're on the set of medium, so the Spaniard really puts it to them. Cantera is just ahead of him out on track. Dakar now through the final corner. 28.8 to improve on. About to come across the line now. It's going to go into the 27s. It's a good improvement as well. Dakar finds nearly 1.3 seconds, and he goes up to 5th. A very nice lap there by the Scotsman. Very confident lap as well. Toros, the driver, goes 5th. We'll have to ride on board though with some of the main protagonists. Toxic is off a lap. Bullet Boy is off a lap as well. He's on that lap, of course. We'll ride on board then with Alonso, who was provisional pole earlier on in the session, and looks like he's just invalidated. So the German is not going to be improving out on track. Is Boulem improving out on track, the Frenchman? Let's have a look. I don't think he is. He's backed off. Boulem is not improving either. We're going to have to be very wary here of who improves. We'll ride on board with the 2 McLarens, Span and Montana. They're both around the same parts of the circuit, so we'll ride on board with these two for now and see how these get on. I'll see where Harrison David is out on track as well. He's coming through turn 13. Is he improving on his time? Well, he hasn't set a time yet. He should be improving. Cantera's just came across the line to the 150.1 as well. That was Verstappen, I think, moving... No, Lyons just moved up to 4th. So the Williams drive up to 4th while Luigi betters him. Harrison across the line, goes top with a 26.8. Very nice lap there. What are the two McLarens doing? Two main title protagonists, you would imagine, Spine and Montana, are on laps. Xari has just got in the 10th position there. We should see improvements maybe from Alpha Trix, maybe from the likes of Spine and Montana. It's going to be a very close qualifying session here. Alpha Trix goes to the top. As soon as I say that, he goes to the top. Spine, what's he doing on a lap? Coming across the line, 27.2. We'll quickly go to Montana, who's on a lap, coming across the line, goes fourth with a 26.9. That, I think, is the end of qualifying. Campbell is 9/10 up, though, ending off his lap. The Brit, can he go up there? Campbell across the line, 27.4, goes 9th. So there's Alpha Trix. Not from the back this time around. He is going to be on provisional pole. Bullet Boy not improving, he's into the pits. Alpha Trix then on provisional pole. Harrison David in second. How tight the top four is. 10th of a second. About a 10th and a half between the top four of Spine and Verstappen. I'll run you through the full grid order from qualifying in just a second. Campbell there finishing in 9th after qualifying. And a good improvement on his lap as well. Let's have a look then at qualifying. Alpha Trix takes it by 600th of a second. Look how close the top three is. Harrison David in second. Doom in third. 800th of a second separating the top three. Top 14 separated by less than a second. Unreal. Montana in 4th, Spine in 5th, Verstappen in 6th, Toxic in 7th, while Luigi, pole position last year, will have to do with 8th, Campbell in 9th and Lyon in 10th, Bullerboy, Daka, Xjari, Alonso, Cantera, it's actually top 15, separated by less than a second, Bualem, Cohen, Larkin and Mercurial Caesar, crashing out early on in the session, still not sure what happened with him, but he is going to be starting from the back of the grid. Are we going to have 2 out of 2? Are we going to have a different winner here tonight compared to last week? Of course, it was Alpha Trix, the Brit, who took pole position, who took the win, last week in Australia, right from the back of the field in a dramatic Australian Grand Prix. Can he do it from the front this time? Or will somebody else be out to stop him? I have a feeling maybe somebody else will be out to stop him. Of course, do make your predictions in the comment section. Show your support for any particular driver that you want here in Division 1. Of course, I will read out the comments during the formation lap. So with about 25 seconds to go, I'm going to take a quick drink, get myself refreshed for the race ahead. And I have got another commentary after this as well for Competitive Racing Club, going on TTTV, that is, if you do want to join in for that. And if I've got to be honest, it's a very weird drink that I'm having as well. It's a Pepsi Max Ginger, which is a brand new type of Pepsi Max. So there you go. That is what I'm having. Non-alcoholic for me, I don't drink. 29 laps for the drivers here out on track. I thought it was... And again, another Love Island pun there. But let's have a look at some of the strategies, and quite a mix, I've got to say. Top 10 obviously qualifying on a set of medium competitive tyres, so they are obviously going to be wearing out probably around 7 or 8 laps into the Grand Prix here within the first stint. I would imagine the mediums will probably be anywhere between lap 10 and lap 14, I would imagine, if drivers are really, really savvy with their tyre management. Looking further down the grid, we've got a bit of a mix-up between the bottom 9, so that is Bullet Boy down to Caesar. Bullet Boy, Daka, and Cohen, Kvyat Cohen, all on a set of medium competitive tyres. They are the middle of the 3 competitive tyres. You shouldn't see those guys go on to a set of softs, I don't think, towards the end of the race. You might, you never know. On a set of hards, though, is Xjari, Alonso, Cantera, Bualem, Larkin and Mercurial Caesar. They're all on a set of hard competitive tyres. Now, they are the hardest competitive tyre, but I feel, personally, they are the best competitive tyre to be on within the second half of the race rather than the first half of the race. I think the hards will do bits around here, and they do tend to be quicker as long as you go, as far as you go into the race. They do tend to be longer. I'm going to make a bold prediction for top 3 as well. I'm going to say... Oh, it's quite tricky. We've got a lot of talent in Division 1 this season. They're not making it hard for myself. I'm going to go Harrison David for the win. I think the Brit might just right us wrong from Australia last week. Harrison David for the win. I'm going to go for Alpha Trix for second. And let's put a bit of a wild one in there. Let's go for Spine for third. the other Swiss man in the McLaren. The last car's now joining up onto the grid. We're just waiting for Mercurial Caesar to take his place now in his grid slot, right down there, the back of the field in 19th position. But round 2 of the Championship of Division 1 is just moments away here on League of Europe. And the 5 red lights will be going out very shortly indeed. Alpha Trix on the right-hand side of his shot. Harrison David on the left-hand side. Lights out, away we go. Alpha Trix gets a very good launch. So does Harrison David, though. It could be side by side heading down towards turn 1. Harrison David, June Montana all getting off very cleanly indeed. Verstappen is up the inside, making up positions down the inside. There's a little bit of contact in the background of shot. Looks like everyone has got clean through, and it's Alpha Trix who leads the way out of turn 3, and he's leading by 5/10ths early on from Harrison David in second. Cohen has dropped down the field quite drastically indeed. So Caesar's right down the back there as well with Cantera next Jarry. But coming halfway through the first sector, there's been a lot of contact further down the field. Boulem has been involved. Line, I think, was involved in that as well. So maybe those two catching a little bit of contact. Montana trying to go all the way around the outside of Verstappen. Bullet Boy and Waluigi in the background of shot. Waluigi will be on the inside of shot. Line and Caesar have made contact, I think, further down the field. And speaking of contact, Waluigi and Toxic, I think that was. Sorry, Waluigi and Bullet Boy. Just correct myself there. Bullet Boy has got past through Waluigi on the outside of shot. Verstappen right on the back of Montana as well. Relatively clean start, I've got to say, for Division 1. A few bumping and barging and a bit of contact between Caesar and Boulem, in fact it was, making the contact. But from my perspective, up front, relatively clean. And Alpha Trix has got an 8/10 lead from Harrison in second. Doom in third, but we're watching Bullet Boy now right on the back of Spine. This is for 6th and 7th, coming out on track. He's lunging it down the inside. That might be a bit of a rash move, but he's got the move done. Spine, I think, completely locked up there into the corner. We're running ball with Waluigi. Toxic is into the pits early. I think he's replacing his front wing. I think the other Williams might be into the pits as well. Lawyer might be getting held up. No, he's going to stay out. Spine is on the inside of Bullet Boy here down into turn 1. The Swiss man, it's wheels out here in Bahrain. Bullet Boy lags ahead of him, and Waluigi gets a better run around the outside. Spine now on the inside, and it's fine move there from the Belgian. Waluigi is up into 7th position. Bullet Boy now just lagging slightly for my liking, but Waluigi is up to 7th position, past Spine. Let's focus then, and let's have an analysis of the positions from the first couple of from the first lap or so, first lap and a half. Alpha Trix, Harrison David, June Montana staying where they are. Position gain for Verstappen, 5 positions gain for Bullet Boy. Good start from him. While they've gained 1 and 3 respectively. Alonso has gained 3 positions. And we'll go on board with him actually, because he's right on the back of Campbell in the background of shot there. Campbell the Brit now down in towards the final couple of corners as Dakar has lost control of the car. How on earth have they avoided that? Campbell and Alonso. Dakar just catching the curb on the outside through turn 10. Through turn 11 that is. That is one of the moments out on track. On me, I've got to say so myself. Campbell and Alonso in 9th and 10th currently out on track. Alpha Trix set the new fastest lap of the race, has currently got Harrison David on the back stretch at the minute. 8/10 of a second between those guys. On to lap 3, so DRS now enabled. Verstappen coming on Montana, and again Bullet Boy just lagging slightly. Alonso not going to be close enough to the move here on Campbell. Everyone else has settled pretty evenly. We'll run on board with Verstappen. There is a lot of lag going on with Bullet Boy. Hopefully he can keep his connection. If he's got any devices, I would advise to turn them off now if he has. Or if anybody is watching from his family, please get him to turn it off, even though that he is driving. It will really suit him towards the end of the race. So I again take a drink of my Pepsi Max Ginger. Alpha Trix leads 6/10 of a second from Harrison David. They're not going to be quite close, I don't think, until the straight. Doom and Montana 3rd and 4th. The battle you're on board with, though, is this battle for 9th and 10th. It is a real good battle as well. Campbell and Alonso, the German, the new driver here in Division 1, attacking the Division 2 champion of Campbell. No ERS in operation there for Alonso, and he's not going to try and get the overtake done. Verstappen as well on the back of Montana for 4th and 5th out on track. Alpha Trix leads by 5/10 of a second. He will come under some sort of pressure now, though, from Harrison David. They fly through shot coming into the final corner there, and we'll ride on board though with Harrison David. 0.5 of a second is quite a distance back. Sits a new fastest lap of the race by a 1/10 of a second there, I think. 30.7. Alphatrix will hold on to the lead into turn 1. Harrison David just outbraking himself slightly. Verstappen nearly into the back of Montana there. We've also got a bit of a battle going on further down the field is Cohen. That's Alonso and Campbell actually going side by side into the first corner, and Alonso clean sailing up the inside has got the move done. Verstappen and Montana again. They need to make 2 moves on the straight. If I've got to be very picky here with the drivers in Division 1, the drivers have got to remember they can only make 2 weaving manoeuvres on the straight. 1 to defend the position and 1 to position the car. That is what these guys have got to do. These guys should know it by now, but from my perspective they've got to keep it clean, and I'm sure for you guys as the viewers you want to keep it clean as well. We'll go on board with Waluigi because we can see Bullet Boy lagging there quite profusely indeed. Alphatrix still leading the way by 0.4 of a second as we approach the start of lap 5. Harrison David in second with Doom in third. David, mate, pardon me. Montana in 4th, Verstappen in 5th. That's what you get if you do drink fizzy drinks on the stream, guys. And girls, if you are tuning in as well. X-Jerry on the back of Larkin. This is for 12th. This is for 11th and 12th. Both on a set of hard compound of tyres. And Larkin doing a good job so far. He's getting 7 positions from 18 from the grid. Of course, Toxic, Cantera and Caesar have all been into the pits. Thacker as well after that mistake is down the field by 4 positions. Come on to lap 5. Harrison David still 0.3 away. We'll ride on board though with X-Jerry. Larkin already moving to defend the position, trying to break the slipstream actually down the straight. Is X-Jerry going to have a go into turn 1? I think of course he is. Of course he is. He has a half commitment there, but doesn't go for the move. Verstappen and Montana again. Montana defending the position. Verstappen trying to go all the way around the outside. He will have the traction on the outside of the corner. Verstappen and Montana side by side through the S section, and Montana shuts the door on him quite literally and forces him to the outside. It's going to let Bullet Boy into play. Maybe Waluigi and Spine getting involved as well. Bullet Boy up the inside now on Verstappen, and that move has really forced Verstappen to rethink things here because Montana has held on to 4th position. Mercurial Caesar out the race, and there's contact. Bullet Boy, I think, just coming across slightly on Verstappen. There could have been a little bit of lag involved in that as well. So Verstappen is round. Bullet Boy, I wouldn't say was at fault there. May have shut the door, but it might have been a combination of the lag that we have been seeing on the stream, as well as him shutting the door on Verstappen. Mercurial Caesar out of the race, and unfortunately for him, he's the first retirement out on track. And a safety car has been deployed. So safety car has been deployed. Funny enough, it is because he's left the session rather than the car being a nuisance out on track. But that means there is a difference with Harrison David, I think, not going to come into pits. Alonso has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Everyone, of course, got to maintain their delta time. So we've got Doom in, Montana is in, Waluigi is in, Campbell looks like he's coming in as well. Yeah, Campbell is in. Larkin coming in. There's quite a few from the bottom half of the field coming in. Verstappen is in as well. Cohen is in. So the Red Bulls are going to be holding each other up here in the pits up here. Cohen could lose at least 4 seconds, I think, out of this. And they're not ready for him. Cohen is going to have to sit and suffer. He's going to be sitting and suffering for an extra 3 or 4 seconds in the pits. Cohen, from what should have been a 2-second pit stop, has now become about a 5 or a 6-second pit stop there. And now Cohen, I think, has been ruined by that, by his teammate coming in front. Campbell, he's in 11th position, Campbell. Cohen is in 14th position. All of the guys that have pitted already are back into the pits. Alphatrix getting very close to the safety car, but as a result of the safety car coming out on track, again, for Caesar leaving the session, and not... Ooh, Harrison David just braking very early there. Bullet Boy forced out wide. Everyone just got to keep their respective distance here. They don't want to be getting too close to the car ahead. I think they've got to give each other maybe at least a car length or 2, at least, to operate in. Give them space to operate in, these guys. These guys should be sensible enough to remember that. But halfway through lap 6, and the first safety car of the season is out here in Division 1, and Alphatrix has held on to the lead. He has yet to pit in though, and we'll have a look at who has pitted. Well, you can probably make it up for yourself through that caption. as Boolem has lost the position to X-Jarry. I'm not sure, again, there was a little bit of contact there, or if he's just run out wide. But top 7 yet to pit. Doom might be in the net lead of this race. So this race could really change complexion if these guys do not come into the pits. I think they should. Alpha Trix is aiming towards the pit lane but not coming in. None of these guys I don't think are coming in. Yeah, the top 7 staying out on track. Everyone in behind getting the warmth of the tyres going. I'm on to lap 7 in Division 1 and the safety car is out. So that means I can check the comment section for you guys. That is the wrong stream for a start. I was tuning into Division 3 there for a minute. Pepsi Max Ginger. Yeah, I am drinking Pepsi Max Ginger. It is actually quite nice. It's quite sweet actually. It's not like overpowering at all. It's just tasting like Pepsi Max, to be honest. That's how I say it. Nice one, Bullet Boy, just turned into Verstappen like he's not there. As I say, stewards will investigate it. My opinion on the incident though, it was a combination of Bullet Boy turning into Verstappen himself and a combination of the lag that we have been seeing out on track. You can't really pinpoint it just on Bullet Boy coming across on Verstappen. He might have done, it might come out that way in the stewards' investigation, but from my point of view and my opinion, I think he did come across him to some extent. It could have also been a bit of a lag spike as well, and you have seen it in the stream. We did take on board a POV shot of about 5 seconds of Bullet Boy, and you can appreciate the lag that he did have. I'm not pinpointing it down, I want to try and stay neutral as possible. On my screen, I didn't touch him, so there we go. It might have been a bit of a desync. I can't really comment on that. But I have pretty much put my opinion. I'm staying 50-50 and non-biased on the situation, but I'm just saying how it is, of course, on stream. Safety car is in this lap, so my rambling on has got us to that point. Alpha Trix has got to back up the pack, but he's got to back up the pack in quite a fair way. The drivers behind don't want to be getting Constantinaed up. They don't want to be getting bunched up. You don't want to be seeing front wing end plates flying everywhere. I have seen that before around here. Trust me, it is not a nice feeling. Harrison David, though, is not giving Alpha Trix any room to manoeuvre, and he's almost passing him, in fact, and he realises that because Alpha Trix has gone. Alpha Trix into the final 2 corners has gone, and he's got 0.8 of a second already over Harrison David. That was Alpha Trix backing up the pack to perfection. That is how you back up the pack. We're back underway here in Division 1. Everyone going to be spread out quite evenly down into turn 1. Are we going to see any overtakes? Not from the top guys for sure. Lion, though, is on the back of Cohen further down the field. X-Jarry and Boolem are fighting into turn 1. This is Lion, though, up the inside of Cohen, and the Dutchman has completed the move, I think, around the outside into turn 3. He has. Lion on the side of mediums outdoes Cohen, and Cantera is through on Dakar as well. Dakar fighting back, and Toxic getting involved as well. It's 3 wide down into turn 4. Toxic down the inside. Cantera trying to force the issue. Great racing here between the Spaniard and the Brit. Toxic now on the inside. He won't give this up without a fight. Cantera forced off track slightly. There's a little bit of contact. Maybe Toxic at fault there again. Similar to a Bullet Boy and Verstappen incident, if I've got to be honest. Toxic might have just turned into him. Everyone obviously warming up the tyres. A little bit of an aggressive start, and Cantera has got back underway. He will feel very hard done by that, if I've got to be honest, and I certainly wouldn't be a happy bunny in his position at this time. We are on to lap 8. X-Jarry has dropped a couple of positions, a couple of positions from the start of the race, from the start under the safety car. Joe Montana and Waluigi have all gone past him, so X-Jarry is now down to 10th position out on track. Verstappen and Campbell now going at it. Verstappen, Campbell just letting him through there, and I think rightfully so, because Verstappen, I think, is on a fresher set of tyres. They're both on a similar strategy, actually, so Verstappen, and that in the background is Toxic round. Toxic is round in the background of shot, dropping the back end through turn 14. Maybe, if I've got to be honest, karma just proving right there. Now Toxic and Cantera letting through, and I think Toxic, with sportsmanship there, has let back through Cantera. That's what we like to see. everyone has to be a friendly face out on track. Montana right on the back of Doom, launching it from a mile back here, the Swiss man, trying to go for the inside. Thank you very much for coming, but he's not going to get that move done quite easily. He's on the inside though, down into turn 6, and now through turn 7, through the S section they come. Montana ditches to the inside. What a move this is if he can pull it off. Doom, but the outbreak himself, Montana, has just cost a position from himself there more than anything else. Doom hangs on there in P7. Montana, again, thank you for trying, not close enough. He's still on the back of Doom, and Alonso right on the back of Spine, his teammate actually up in 4th position. So we've got the Alfa Romeo and the McLaren fighting at it, and Montana now down the inside into turn 10 has got the move done, down into turn 11 I should say, has got the move done on Doom. That time he pulled it off. That time he pulled it off cleanly as well, and Montana is through and he's up to 7th position. Pinpoint perfection right there from the defending champion. Alonso right on the back of Spine, just filling in on the board with the lead as well. Alphatrix leads by 1.2 seconds. Harrison David in 2nd, Bullet Boy in 3rd, Spine in 4th, Alonso in 5th. He's coming into the pits now. Bualem is not coming in. Montana isn't either. Is X-Jerry going to come into the pits? No, he's not. We have got Verstappen though. And sorry, it is, I don't know who that is, Verstappen, it's Larkin and Campbell actually going side by side. Knew it was somebody, Larkin down the inside on Campbell, and the Brit could have 2 for 1 as Lyon forces himself up the inside, trying to get around the outside into turn 3. He's going to be on the inside line, running slightly uphill towards turn 4. Verstappen, Campbell just coming across him on a little bit. Lyon is down the inside, maybe racing a little bit too aggressively. Campbell will try and pull off the move. He losses the back end through there, and I think this is going to be Campbell's move to pull off. Lyon up the inside, and again, what is it with drivers just coming across each other? They've got to give each other room out on track. They've got to give each other room out on track. Otherwise, it is not a fair race. If we do not give the driver in front or behind the ability to try and get up the inside, it is not going to pay off. And that is what we have seen there with Lyon and Verstappen once again. And Lyon down into 12th position as a result of that. It was Campbell, sorry. Lyon and Campbell. Correct myself there. It was Lyon and Campbell both making contact. A little bit now on the quiet front, if I've got to be honest. But Montana currently in the net lead of the race. So is the Swiss man going to be doing it out on track, but only on coming on to lap 11. Alphatrix leads the way 1.7 seconds. Really bolted from the start. Bualem thought he was going to come into the pits there, but he's not. Montana, though, I think, is going to be clean sailing down the inside here. Bualem can see what's coming. Thank you very much. Montana takes that. It's a freebie position, really. Montana up to P5. Thank you very much for that. Verstappen up the inside of X-Jerry. X-Jerry again just coming across on him slightly, but they've got to give each other plenty of room out on track. And Verstappen with a much better exit now, coming up the hill slightly towards turn 4. And Verstappen with the DRS open is going to clean sail it down the inside. The Dutchman not going to fight back here. X-Jerry, Verstappen has got the move done, and he's up into 9th position. Larkin now right on the back as well. Everyone racing quite fairly out on track. Obviously, we've had a few incidents out on track, which I have had my say on the stream, and I'm not going to go into too much detail more about that. But Alphatrix leads the way by 1.8 seconds. Harrison David in 2nd. You're all on board with Larkin, who is on the back of X-Jerry. Lyon on the back of this as well. He, again, is quick. Maybe just needs to work on the racecraft a little bit. Larkin is right on the back of X-Jerry coming down the straight. Is he going to try and lunge it down the inside? He doesn't. Verstappen picks up a 3-second tumble. He runs miles wide in front of these guys. Verstappen got to rejoin the track safely. Just forces X-Jerry off camber of the corner. Larkin will be up the inside here into turn 13. Can he put off the move, the Brit, on the Dutchman? It is going to be side by side running down the hill. Lyon is going to get involved in this as well. We'll take it from his point of view. Montana and Spine are going to be close as well. X-Jerry and Larkin stay as they are, and Lyon, as Alphatrix, is in from the lead of the race. So Alphatrix is in from the lead of the race. Lap 12 we go on, and Harrison David leads, Bullet Boy 2nd, Spine in 3rd. Lyon, though, is the one we're on board with. Lagging a little bit down the straight. Larkin right on the back of X-Jerry. Larkin sends it up the inside of X-Jerry. Little bit of contact. X-Jerry, I think, should have been aware of him coming, because Larkin, I think, was always going to try and pull off that move. He has done. He's just essentially barged him out the way a little bit, but Lyon is through and he's up to 10th position, and that is Toxic going around the outside of Cantera through turn 2 and 3, and Toxic has got the move done on Cantera. Again, maybe just coming across him slightly, but Toxic is through. He's up to 14th position. That was in the background of shot there. Montana is through on Spine. McLaren team orders at its finest. Of course, Spine yet to pit in, so it makes sense to send the faster driver up the road. Harrison David though leads, 1.5 seconds the gap, and Bullet Boy in second, Montana third, Spine in fourth, Buellem in fifth, with Doom in sixth, while Luigi seventh, Verstappen in eighth, Larkin in ninth, and Lion in 10th position. As I will have a look at the comment section, see what you guys are coming through with. Come on, Lion, get the points for Williams. So clearly some good support there from Lion. I've got to be honest, he's been trying maybe a little bit too much at times out on track, but he's a clean driver, and I'm sure common sense will prevail as he tries on the back of Larkin for 9th and 10th position. Funny enough, this is the battle you're on board with now. Verstappen, Larkin, top two are in. Harrison David and Bullet Boy are into the pits. They will go on a set of hard compounded tyres respectively. And Alphatrix is through on Cantera. What on earth happened there with Cantera? What on earth happened there? Cantera is coming into the pit. Is he going to pit again? Was there a bit of contact there? I think he's giving up. Yeah, Cantera's going to give up, I think, out on track. He has retired from the race. Not sure if there was any contact there, maybe with Alphatrix. Down the straight that was, down towards turn 14. Hopefully we can fill you in on that within the comments section. If we can't, and I can't really have much say on that. I have a feeling though, Cantera might be a little bit, let's just say, peed off with some things that have happened out on track tonight. Montana, 1.6 seconds, leading the way now from Spine as a result of Harrison David and Bullet Boy pitting in. Gap between Alphatrix and Harrison David when they came into the pits is roughly 2 seconds between Alphatrix and Harrison David, so just to fill in on that. Buellem picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's who we're on board with. He ran wide through turn 12, and he, I think, if I was Buellem, I'd be thinking to pit very soon indeed. Maybe lap 14 or 15 for Buellem, because those tyres are beginning to go slightly. Spine is into the pit, yeah, Buellem, rightly so. I thought he was going to come into the pit. He changes at the last minute, the cheeky Frenchman. Goodness me. Jim right on the back of Buellem. We'll go on board though with a developing battle between Alphatrix and Toxic. Both these guys have driven good races so far, and Alphatrix is going to absolutely fly past Toxic down the straight. Easy as you like. Toxic, no way he's going to fight back this. Alphatrix, thank you very much. He's up the inside, he's up into P11 on the straight. Fantastic move, and Harrison David's gone through, and Alonso just in behind as well. We've got Verstappen and Waluigi now battling out for 4th position out on track. It is currently in that 3rd position if you discount Buellem, who is still yet to come into the pits. Oh, and that is Larkin into the wall. What on earth happened there? Did he catch the curb? I don't think he had anyone around him. Larkin has caught the curb in a vicious fashion, and Larkin is out of the race in dramatic style. That was a hard crash into the wall. Goodness me, I saw that right in the back of shot. Larkin is out of the race. I'm sure he'll have something to say. That curb on the exit of turn 7 can be a right brute at times, and trust me, I have experienced that myself. So I know from experience what happened there. A heavy hit into the wall. Hopefully Larkin is okay. It's just dented his pride more than anything else. He'll be back next week to try once again as we move to Shanghai in China, of course. Montana leads now by 2.9 seconds, and the Swiss man in dominant fashion, maybe with a slight hint of the look on the side with the safety car, changing the complexion of the race, leads the way. Alonso right on the back of Harrison David, but Verstappen down the inside on Waluigi into turn 1. Waluigi, of course, setting pole position last season. Verstappen all the way around the outside through turn 2 and 3. Can he get the move done? I think he has. Verstappen, clean as you like. The Dutchman coming out on top from Waluigi, lying right on the back of this as well. So Verstappen up into, that is, a net 3rd place out on track. Of course, Buellem still yet to come into the pits. Maybe to go on to set a soft compound of tyre near the end. He will be coming out certainly ahead of Dakar if he does pit in, which will be for 15th position. A lot of action happening here in Division 1. Of course, if you are liking the stream and if you are liking the commentary, Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and tick that notification bell if you are wanting to be notified of when we are live next. Of course, Division 2 and Division 4 will be coming up tonight at 8 o'clock, or if you want to follow me around tonight, I'm going to be doing Competitive Racing Club commentary on TTTV, and that is going to be from 8:30 on the grid as Lion sends it up the inside of Waluigi. That is a phenomenal move. Lion has pulled it off to perfection. I did not see that coming for 1 second at all. Waluigi is almost as surprised as I am. Lion up the inside of Waluigi. Talk about taking opportunities. That opportunity paid off. Lion. What a move. Absolutely clean as a whistle. That was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic indeed. Larkin has left the lobby as well, so hopefully it is not my connection that is holding everyone up here. Montana leading the way by 4.2 seconds. Doom in second, Verstappen in third, Lion in fourth, Waluigi in fifth, Xjerry sixth, Cohen seventh. Alonso has came into the pits. Campbell now in 8th. Brewer, by the way, came into the pits that last lap. We failed to report that. Harrison David, though, is down the inside on Toxic. And that, again, is a very good move there indeed. And Toxic and Harrison David picking up, and the lag is beginning to pick up as well. I have a feeling on the lobby host here, so that might be why we're getting a bit of lag on the lobby. Hopefully, it kicks me out and the race can continue. Toxic and Harrison David. Clean through for Harrison David. Alphatrix right on the back of Campbell. Did he try and go for the move there down into turn 10? I think he tried to, but Alphatrix is going to get the move on the straight anyway. So Alphatrix through, and he's up to P8 out on track. And he is coming through the field nicely, I've got to say, Alphatrix. Of course, starting on pole position, really beginning to come through the field nicely. We have got that battle for third heating up as well. There are the position changes so far. Quite a few positive changes up through the top 7. Bullem, the only exception, gaining 3 positions as well. That is my Pepsi Max coming back at me again. Lion running down the straight in behind Verstappen. Is Verstappen going to hold on to the move? Yes, he is. The Lion doesn't try it down into turn 1. Verstappen holds a position. Currently still in 3rd position, but we'll ride on board with this for now. And I will just send a message to somebody in just a second as Xjerry has came into the pits, finally relinquishing the position out on track. As Montana still leads the way by 4.1 seconds from Doom in second, Verstappen in third, but Lion right on the back of him. Waluigi right trying to get on the back of this as well. Lion again right on the back of Verstappen, just ensuring that he gets the power out of the corner more than anything else. He's lost time as a result of running wide off the camber of the corner. Really tricky corner to get right at the best of times, turn 10. And Lion, I think, is just going to prioritise that run out of the corner rather than run into the corner. Maybe just picking different braking points could work on that. Lion and Verstappen, though, right on the back of each other. As Montana still leads the way, 4.2 seconds, Doom in second, Verstappen third, Lion in fourth. This is the closest battle out on track, so we'll run on board with this. Lion, again, is into the pits actually, so Lion into the pits, Waluigi comes in behind. That three's Waluigi in behind, so we'll run on board them with Bualem and Bullet Boy, who are fighting out for current P11 out on track. But I began to struggle in commentary. I shouldn't have overshot it a little bit, to be honest. But hopefully everyone enjoying the action. We are on lap 18 out of 29, and this is Bualem down the inside. The Frenchman on the brace of Bullet Boy, who apparently didn't touch Verstappen earlier on in the race. But Bualem has repaid Bullet Boy back. So Bualem is up into P10. So he's into... he could be getting 3 points at this stage within the race. Everyone quite evenly spaced out on track. This could become a little bit boring if I've got to be honest now out on track. Bualem obviously leading, and Bullet Boy has actually just made a mistake and has completely cut the corner. What's he doing there? Bullet Boy completely cutting the corner. That was failed to be, that was sadly picked up upon. So The stewards might want to have a take of that. He did get a penalty, an in-game penalty as a result. And speaking of penalties, I'll have a check through you guys for the penalties now. No penalties for Montana. 1 penalty for Doom. 1 penalty for Verstappen. Luigi's got nothing. Cohen has got a warning. Alphatrix has got nothing. Campbell has got nothing. Harrison David has got a penalty. Toxic has got nothing. Oh, he's got 1 warning actually. Boolem has got a penalty. Bullerboy has got a penalty. Oh, 2 penalties even. Spine has got 2 warnings. Lion has got nothing. That is a racing point out of the race. That's Bullerboy out on the right hand side. Has he lost it on the curb through turn 14? Sorry that I'm catching the penalties here. Run the rest through. Bullerboy has got 6 seconds. He's retired out of the race. So Alonso has got a drive through, but he served that up, I think. Bullerboy has got a... Well, he's got 6 seconds. He's out of the race. Daka's got nothing. And Larkin already out of the race. So that is it of the guys that are out on track. Well, I didn't really catch what happened to Bullerboy. It looked like he got... I would imagine he got caught on the curb on the outside of turn 14, similar to where Toxic went off. Toxic somehow has recovered the car into 9th position as a result of that. Harrison David, though, on the back of Campbell. Division 2 driver, Division 2 champion, sorry, from last season, against Harrison David, who, of course, finished 6th in Australia. Campbell finishing in 4th, I think it was, in Australia, respectively, last time out. Yeah, it was in 4th. So 4th against 6th from Australia last time around in round 1 of the championship. Montana currently leading the way from June by 4.1 seconds. The gaps out in front have really stabilised, which is good to see. Verstappen in 3rd, while Luigi in 4th. Cohen in 5th. Alphatrix is in 6th, but Alphatrix now right on the back of Cohen. I think it's a choice of take your pick, really, for the battles out on track. Alphatrix now on the back of Cohen. This is going to be job done down into turn 1. Alphatrix the Brit is through and he's up into P5, making effortless ground up through the field. Harrison David now on the inside. Campbell just coming across on him slightly. Never going to defend that position. Harrison David is through. He's up to P7. Easy as you like. That was from the Mercedes man. Both Mercedes are going to be scoring points out on track. So are both McLarens for that matter as well. Obviously, one Sauber going to be scoring points. Both Toro Rossos are not going to be scoring points. Sorry, Verstappen will be. Daka won't be, however. 2 Red Bulls will be, and 1 Ferrari will be as well. And Renault of New Luigi, and the 2 Williamses will also be scoring points at this stage as well in terms of the Constructors' battle. Montana leads 3.8 seconds. Gap just closed down slightly. Maybe taking a little bit easy out in front Montana. Doom in 2nd, Verstappen in 3rd. Let's have a look on board with Doom, who was trying to chase down Montana for the lead of the race. And Montana does lead by 3.9 seconds, but Doom right in behind, trying to catch up. And Montana into the pits from the lead of the race. So Montana is into the pits. Honestly, I think he could have got the... Well, he's on the set mediums. He wouldn't have got those tyres to the end. He's into the pits. Set a soft compound of tyres. Where is he going to come out on? Is that going to force Doom, Verstappen and Luigi then into the pits? I think it probably will. Cohen now inherits P5. Montana is out of the pits. Maybe just out ahead of Boolem here. It's going to be quite close on exit. Montana wants to race this down towards turn 1. Boolem gets out ahead. Boolem much better on the power. Oh, and there's contact between Lion and Spine. What on earth happened there? Spine and Lion coming across each other. Lion letting them through. I caught on board with that quite late, if I've got to be honest. Looked to me as if it was Lion forcing Spine onto the curb down into turn 1. And there's been a bit of contact between them both. I can't really comment on what happened there. Lion now going to be struggling. He's got left side end plate damage, I think. Yep, left side end plate damage for Lion. It's unfortunate for him, but in a way, I think he's got to realise that he's going to get out of the way of X-Jarry here as well. So X-Jarry's through up to P11. Lion's just got to realise maybe to drive a little bit more cautiously, if I've got to be honest, and maybe that incident with Spine might set him right for the rest of the season. But Doom now leads the way, still going out on track. Verstappen is in 2nd, Luigi in 3rd. These guys, I think, have got to pit. Bullet Boy has left the session. So we now changed our third lobby host of tonight. I hope it's not me again. Hope it's Montana or somebody like that. Montana, speaking of which, is right on the back of Campbell coming down the straight. Division 2 champion against Division 1 champion of last season. This, I'm sure, is one of the battles you've wanted to see for quite a while in Division 1. Well, you're getting it in round 2 between Montana and Campbell. You will surely think that Montana will get past. I am going to think that Montana will get past. Whether he commits it down into turn 4 is a different thing. Of course he will. Look at the speed of him, and he's not going to lie about there quite easily. Montana is through, and he's up into P7, out on track with Campbell in P8. Everyone driving relatively cleanly, if I've got to be honest here. Of course, I'm an honest commentator. I do like to call things as they are over the stream. So if anybody does want to get in touch with me afterwards, I will probably defend my positions rather than anything else from this race. But June leading 3.4 seconds from Verstappen, while Luigi in third could inherit Alphatrix into the lead of the race if the top 3 decide to pit. Toxic is picking up a 3-second time penalty there. That was through. Oh, and he's off! And Toxic's out of the race, I think. Yeah, Toxic out of the race. Will that be enough to inherit a legal safety car? After the leave of the session earlier from Caesar, which caused the safety car to come out on lap 6. Whether that will inherit a safety car, I don't think it will. Honestly, don't think it will. Harrison, David and Montana now, though. This is going to be interesting. Second and third last season around here. And Harrison, David and Montana, 6th and 7th, currently out on track. Montana's going from an absolute mile back to get the move done. And what on earth was that? Give that position back up right now. Harrison David is retiring from the race, and I think rightfully so as well. Maybe that was just a bit too much, if I've got to be honest. Buwalem down the inside of Campbell. That is how you complete a move cleanly. Please bear that in mind for future. Buwalem then, setting even first sector actually there from the Frenchman. Alonso was retired from the race as well. Where on earth is he retired? I think that's out of turn 3, is it? Let's have a look. Alphatrix right on the back of Luigi. Oh, he's gone clean through down the straight, gets the move done. Dakar gone through. Yeah, there is Alonso out of turn 3. Has got the has gone out the race. There is Harrison David's AI car pulling off to the side of the track. Well, maybe the racing just getting a little bit too heated here in Division 1. Harrison David leaving the session. I've got to be honest. And again, another safety car. Another safety car for the result of somebody leaving the session. Quite ridiculous if you ask me. But then again, it is going to really inherit the top 3, maybe into the leads of the race. So Doom is actually could be on for the win here. He could be on for the win. What a crazy race this has been. Montana coming across the line. He will be inheriting the lead of the race. Whether he deserves to be there is a different question. I'm sure you guys might want to have a say with it in the comment section as well. But Montana does lead the race. The Swiss man down the inside of Harrison David. That, I'm afraid, I will be honest, that was caught on stream. So I'm sure the stewards will have a look at it. Bill has gained a position on Campbell, however, in the pit lane. And there's only 12 drivers going, so if all of these keep it clean out on track, and please do, because we don't want to see any more contact tonight. If these 12 drivers keep it out on track, they will be scoring points for themselves, and for their teams, of course. But now we've got another safety car. It's thrown the race completely wide open once again. Hopefully everyone, as I say, enjoying the stream. Whether I've been controversial with my comments, you can make a judgment for yourself, really, on that. I like to commentate on things how they are, as how I see it, and try and be fair with all of the commentary that I give here in Division 1. Whether people can accept that, well, that's a different thing. Larkin saying my PSN controller disconnected. Second time it's done that in a league race this month. It was going so well. I'm so sad. Larkin, don't worry. At least you went out the race with a disconnect of a controller and not because of a reckless move down the inside. That's what you got to think. And Gary coming in and saying, come on, Jim. Of course, Division 2 will be starting up very shortly indeed. And Division 4, for that matter, will be starting up in about 15 minutes' time. Montana leads the way, Jim in second, Verstappen in third. Everyone now on a set of soft compounded tyres. So all of these are going to be gunning it till the end of the race. Montana will start lap 25 out in front, with Jim in second, Verstappen in third, Alphatrix in fourth, Waluigi in fifth position. Baguette Power, yeah, Boolem we are on board with, so that is probably why you are saying that. Boolem is in seventh currently, on a set of soft compounded tyre. And let's have a look at the position gains after that safety car. And let's see, he has getting 9 positions from 16th on the grid. I would have honestly expected him to be further up the grid in qualifying than what would have been the case. Boolem is actually trying to get past Cohen for some reason here. Doesn't want to be too impatient, because you don't want to be making contact within the safety car. That will just look very, very awkward, especially because I'm riding on board with him. But Montana leading the way. He's backing up the pack maybe too much, and Boolem going past Cohen once again. Maybe just tell him to get on with things a little bit. Maybe tell him to get on a little bit quicker. That is a little bit too close for my liking. Goodness me. Anyways, let's have a look. Shout out to Daka for carrying on after spinning a few times and now getting points. Consistency pays off in any league race. And given that how this race has actually gone, fair play to Daka. He's in the position he started in. The Scotsman doing a good job. He's kept it clean out on track. That's the most important thing that I'm going to say about him. And honestly, maybe one of the most consistent drivers on the grid tonight. He's kept it clean. Had that mistake, obviously. Is back within the points. He deserves it. He honestly deserves it. And Twisted also right in saying the end of the Grand Prix will be insane. It will be. Hopefully, it's all clean. Hopefully, it's all clean. Obviously, the standards that that I expect, that you guys expect, and these drivers expect, are pretty high. The pressure doesn't want to be put on them. Boolem is definitely wanting to try and get on with things, and again goes past Cohen just in the background of shot. We're right on board though with Montana, who will now take the lead of the race. June will try and floor it. Montana is going to wait to the exit of the final corner. I think he goes very late on towards the final corner now. Montana has gone, but June is keeping him quite even. We're back underway here in Division 1. Montana leads coming across the line with 3/10 of a second the gap from June in second. Is June going to try anything down into turn 1? I don't think he's going to be close enough for the move down into turn 1. Yeah, June sits tight and stays where he is. Campbell, however, down the inside of Cohen. But 2 Red Bulls are fighting out for 7th and 8th. And fair play to both of them, driving cleanly there, and Cohen holds a position. So Cohen is holding 7th position. Campbell now coming under pressure from Spine. Spine backs off wisely. Don't want to be launched it down the inside of turn 4. Inevitably, there will be contact. We have seen that today plenty of times in Division 1. But Montana leads the way by 4/10 of a second from June in second position. Verstappen in third, Alphatrix in fourth. Everyone has pretty much stayed in the same positions as they started off from the safety car period with. Montana leading the way. Everyone quite evenly spaced out, if I've got to be honest. There's a little bit of a break forming from the top 6 down to the bottom 6. So essentially, there's two groups beginning to form. Maybe 2 races beginning to form now. Montana leads from June in second. Verstappen in third, Alphatrix in fourth, Waluigi in fifth, Boolem in sixth, Cohen and Campbell. Mind you, I wouldn't want to be coupled up with them afterwards. But they're defending, Cohen defending well, and Campbell just beginning to lose the pace slightly. That's Lyon running wide in the background, extending the track limits. Now, we have been told, or I've been told certainly, to mention that the track limits at turn 14, I think it is, will be under investigation. So if anyone has been caught track extending at turn 14, and the exit of turn 14 through turn 15, then you might be at the peril of the stewards. Everyone's staying in the same positions as they are. Spine, however, X-Cherry, that was a bit late. X-Cherry down the inside of Spine. How on earth they didn't make contact there is beyond me. It has cost Line a little bit, and X-Cherry, in fact, weaving down the straight. Line says thank you very much. Don't know what that was about. Line's moved to P10. Honestly, don't know what that was about at all. X-Cherry has lost a position. Maybe caught in a bit of a lapse of concentration there. Daka now on a fresher set of softs. beginning to attack the back end of X-Jarry. Lion has been on those been on those soft for 5 laps. Doom is inevitably going to be at a massive advantage as Verstappen is right on the back of Doom, coming down towards turn 11. Doom holding on to the position, and the Spaniard defending fairly. We are about to come on to the final 2 laps of the race, and what a season! What a second race of the season this has been. A lot of good driving out on track, some very clean moves coming out on track, and a bit of track extending and a bit of contact here and there. It's league racing at the end of the day, but the drivers, I think, should be doing better out on track, especially some of them that I might have mentioned over the stream. Alphatrix right on the back of Verstappen. Montana is desperate to try and break that toe from Doom. He has done a good job of things, and it's staying consistent at 0.5 of a second, but here comes Verstappen, trying to launch it down the inside. Alphatrix is trying to go around the outside now on Verstappen. He'll get a switch back through turn 1, now onto turn 2 and 3. He'll try and get the run out of turn 3. He has slightly, he's got the DRS open. Is he going to be close enough down into turn 4? Alphatrix out of the slipstream, not going to be close enough for the move, so the Brit stays in 4th position, but inevitably Alphatrix, I think, is going to try the move. Everyone might stay in the positions as they are, to be honest. We'll have a look at how penalties is going to really affect things here in Bahrain. Now we'll come to that, of course, at the end of the race when they all cross the line. Montana 0.5 of a second ahead. Doom in second. Montana, I think, is desperate to try and hold on to the lead here, because the Spaniard is fighting with all his might. He's like the Slade Warrior at the minute. Can he try and get the move done on Montana? At the minute, there is no answer from Doom on Montana. Montana, 3-lap older soft compound of tyres. Doom inevitably will have about 10% better wear on the tyres. He can use that up. They are both even on ERS. However, both even on ERS. Alphatrix is trying to get on the back of Verstappen. We're about to go on to the final lap, and may all hell break loose on the final lap here in Division 1. Montana, a little bit of a loss of traction there out of the corner. Doom is a lot closer this time, running up the pit wall. Doom and Montana. Can Doom launch it down the inside of turn 1? Is he going to be risky to try and take it? Montana defends the inside, not going to be close enough. Alphatrix right on the back of Verstappen, not going to be close enough as well. Montana maybe using a bit of tactics here, trying to back up the pack into each other, trying to break the toe once again, and Montana will hold the lead once again up towards turn 4 on the final lap of the race. All hell breaking loose in behind. X-Jarry and Lion are having a bit of a battle. 2 Dutchmen. But X-Jarry not going down the inside on Lion. Spine has picked up a time penalty. Doom is right on the back of Montana. The Spaniard wants this. The Spaniard really wants this. Verstappen out wide slightly. Boolem has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Alphatrix on the back of Verstappen as well. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. It's Lion that is round. That is round at turn 7. I think he's done a Larkin, to be honest there. Doom went on the back of Montana though. The Spaniard has got to try and make it count late on here. Can he try and get the move done? Not quite here. Montana 2 tenths ahead of Doom, but this is going to be so close towards the line here, and Doom needs to get the corners right here to try and challenge. Alphatrix right on the back of Verstappen as well. This is going to come down to the wire. Montana is trying to break the toe here. Doom right on the back of him, coming through the final 2 corners now. Montana, I think, has just done enough to hold on. Doom again, not really powering out the corner. It's going to be Montana who takes the win here in Bahrain. A good display of driving, roughly. Doom across the line in second, but may the penalties change that. Well, Luigi and Alphatrix get the podium. Doom in 4th. Verstappen, Cohen, Campbell, Spine, X-Jarry, Boolem, Daka and Lion across the line to finish in 12th position. All of these guys get points. In whether it stays in the order that it is remains to be seen. Montana then takes the win. Montana takes the win here in Bahrain. I've got to say, some of the driving may be a bit aggressive from him. I'm sure he will recognise that himself. But you shouldn't be making contact out on track. Simple as. You shouldn't really be coming from about 3 tenths back and trying to force it down the inside and make the gap to appear. Never going to exist. But, anyways, at the end of a dramatic Bahrain Grand Prix, in the official, unofficial results, of course, it is Montana who does take the win from Alphatrix in second, while Luigi in third. Drivers that picked up no penalties, fair play. Doom in 4th, Verstappen in 5th, Cohen in 6th, Campbell in 7th, Spine in 8th, Xjerry in 9th, Boulem in 10th. They fell out the top 10. Dakar and Lyon. After that spin late on, he's finished in 12th position. So it's a good and bad day, really, for the two NSX drivers. Really, relatively good race. There was a lot of good overtaking, I've got to say, from a few drivers out on track. Campbell certainly drove well, I think. Luigi certainly drove well as well. The Belgian defended well. Doom drove a brilliant race. Quite a few drove brilliant races. Maybe the driving just needs to be a little bit cleaner from a few. We are coming to China next week in League of Europe Division 1, and I think I speak for everyone that has viewed tonight and will eventually view this stream as well. The driving standards for me have got to be cleaner. They've got to be cleaner as a whole. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of good driving out on track, but the standards, I feel, do need to be improved, and that, I think, is the best order of the day. I think the drivers have got to be aware of spatial awareness. The drivers have got to be aware of trying to go for moves from quite far back and essentially having that element of risking, which is not really needed. Drive clean, drive competitive, you won't have a problem with me. That's all I'm going to say on that. But thank you to everyone for tuning in. I'll have a look, round up the comment section, see how you guys are doing. Shout out to Dakar for carrying on after spinning a few times, now getting points. Yeah, a nuclear war could start in Bahrain and Luigi would still find a way to finish the race. He finished well, he finished in 4th. Good driving from everyone really out on track. GG to all the guys, my pace wasn't there. Wait for onboards until you judge like that. I like to express my opinion freely over the stream. Obviously, if you have a problem, contact me in the future. But until then, we'll be in China next week. Thank you very much for watching here in Division 1. Do tune in for Division 2 and Division 4 in 3 minutes' time. And I'll be back next week. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.